why is any of the sport centred? Well, when it rains, it pours. Being a Spurs fan, you'd think we'd be used to it, but in fact, it sometimes just gets worse and worse. I've taken a couple of days to react to the result over the weekend, just so it's not overly emotive, and try and look at it constructively and see where we can improve and what needs to be done within the club. Obviously, losing to your rivals is never nice, but again, it's the fashion in that we're losing. It was just diabolical. West Ham were bad, but we were even worse. We really struggled to string passes together. We looked absolutely inept up front and going forward. You could see the players were trying. It just something isn't clicking. We haven't got that star player anymore, and I think that's been the case for a couple of years, that we've been performing very badly, but we've always had that star player, the Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, that will pull you out of trouble. But in this team, we don't have those players anymore. We're missing those experienced, creative players. You're missing your Madisons, your Kulusevskis, who can make something happen for you. And I think that's where we're really, really struggling, and that's where we need to heavily invest in. What seems to annoy us, obviously I was at the game on Saturday and it was extremely toxic, but you can understand why. Spurs fans are spending a lot of money home and away, hard-earned money. Things are very expensive at the moment. So to see the type of football that we're seeing at the moment, and the negativity as well from the manager, is what is annoying a lot of Spurs fans. Like, you see us, we go 1-0 down, and rather than pressing forward, we're passing the ball across the back four continuously. Vicario's holding on to the ball, and we're not really driving forward. Is that because the players are scared, or because we're being told that's how to play, not to break forward and try and attack? Obviously, it's completely polar opposite to how we played under Ange. Obviously, with Ange, yeah, we might concede a couple, but we might score 4 or 5. Obviously, we don't want to be reckless, but we need to be doing something to get this team going and get the fans back behind you, because at the moment, I think the fans are still behind the team. I think we always will, but it's the manager. The issue is the negative substitutions, negative teams as well that he's putting out. So on Saturday, Matis Tell was a bright spark in the team. He was constantly trying, and you can even tell when he got taken off, the crowd all rose to their feet applauding him, and he was trying to G up the crowd and the rest of the team. He's still a very new player. It should be up to him to do this. But again, the fans were booing Thomas Frank because it's once again a very negative substitution. Yeah, we have really struggled with injuries. Obviously, Ben Davies, we found out today, is undergoing surgery for a broken ankle. He went off very early into the game. Archie Gray also went off injured, and we are missing key players. But there is enough talent in that team to be doing a lot better than what we are at the moment. And obviously, losing to West Ham in the form they're in as well is not good enough. It's sackable, in my opinion. I am really surprised that he's still within the club. Looks to be taking charge against Dortmund tomorrow. So there's been a couple of headlines following his press conference this afternoon, which we'll run through now. So a couple of headlines which Chris Cowling has reported from the press conference is obviously Xavi Simons, who was injured, is available for tomorrow, but we have only got 11 recognised outfield players who are available for tomorrow. Dominic Solanke has been reinstated into the squad for the Champions League, but at the expense of Matis Tell, again, an attacking player. Why are we taking them off? We're really struggling. Obviously, Richarlison is out injured, so why have we not replaced him for there? I'm not sure what Tell needs to do, and you can understand if he looks to hand in a transfer request, because he's trying and he's not paying poorly, so I'm not sure what is happening there. We're also without João Palhinha as well. Ben Davies, as I mentioned, is undergoing surgery for a broken ankle as well. So for tomorrow's game against Dortmund at home, Spurs are going to be out without Conor Gallagher, who's obviously ineligible from coming from Atletico Madrid. Matis Tell is unavailable. He's been replaced by Solanke. Mickey van der Ven is suspended. Ben Davies, as mentioned, fractured ankle. Archie Gray is a doubt. Papis Sarr is obviously returning from the African Cup of Nations after winning that with Senegal. Basuma and Dragusin were not in the squad, and obviously long-term injuries, we've got Madison, Kulusevski, Kudus, Bentancur and Richarlison are all out injured. Palhinha also is out injured and won't make the team as well. Obviously, you can't fully put the blame on Thomas Frank. Obviously, we've had a lot of injuries, and it's systematic. We can't keep replacing managers over and over and over again. The managers that we have had have never been backed fully. It's with ENIC. The issue is with them. They've never fully supported the team. They came out earlier saying that they were going to invest heavily. £100 million chess fund was available. Why are we not buying more players? Obviously, I know in January it is notoriously harder to get those signings, but we need them. Our squad is decimated by injury. We're in relegation form. So you look at the table and the upcoming fixtures, apart from potentially Burnley on Saturday, I can't see where we're going to pick up many points. So it is very worrying times being a Spurs fan. But the issue with Thomas Frank, obviously, apart from the negativity, is some of the comments he makes about the Spurs fans. Obviously, this one that Chris Cowling has announced saying, look at the players. Are they running hard? Yes, they are. Then support them. It's that sort of dig at the fans, which has got a lot of Spurs fans riled up. We're spending our hard-earned money to attend these games, and yes, we can see the players are trying, but it's not good enough. They're all professionals. They're all being paid a lot of money to see this absolute negative football. If we were conceding and losing games trying to attack, then you could kind of look past it, but we're not. It's the fashion in which we're losing which is causing the issues with us. And I'm not sure where we go from here apart from getting rid of Thomas Frank. The issue is who is out there at the moment. Obviously, if he is in charge of the game tomorrow, which it looks like he will be, who do we then take over? Would you like to see an interim manager in place? There's been talks that Poch would like to come back after America in the World Cup in the summer, but who would then take his place? Obviously, beforehand, you could potentially look at maybe Robbie Keane, but he's doing well. His team are doing well in the Europa League. What about players like Ledley King, Jermaine Defoe, all very passionate about Spurs? Are these options we can look at? Again, it's really troubling times and sad times. Obviously, we won the Europa League last season. We're all on a high. Yes, we finished 17th, but Ange did say he prioritised the Europa League over the Premiership. Is that good enough? No, of course not. But at least we had a trophy to show for it, and we got into the Champions League. At the moment, currently, we are 14th in the league, struggling for points, struggling to win games. It's relegation form, and I'm very worried for the future. If we don't obviously get into that top half, get into European positions, we'll have no European football next year unless we win the Champions League. And yes, although our form in the Champions League has been better, is it going to be good enough? Are we going to win it realistically? Probably not. But yeah, worrying times being a Spurs fan. But let me know in the comments what needs to happen, what signings do we need, and is it Frank in or Frank out? Let us know.